Fanatic.com on this 4th of July, brought to you by Patrick Eads and the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Tomorrow, get in there because on the 6th of July, that sale is over, and that's a Sunday, so they can't sell cars then. So you got a day to get on in there and get yourself a good deal with their sale, the you pay what the employee pays sale. Also brought to you by Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement, Mike's E-Keys for Cars, GT Car, his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling, Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE, the Midtown Family Restaurants, Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City, Diamond Dream Sports Academy, Senior Benefits, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Oxyoke Inn and the Amanas, Streets Maintenance, doing remodeling and plumbing, Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, and from HawkFanatic.com, Pat Harty.
Okay, it was good. So, why do they still have the law that you can't sell cars on Sunday? Can anyone fill me in on that? Or
I don't.
I didn't realize it was a law. I just thought it was a day off.
No, you just can't sell cars on Sunday. I don't know why.
That just has always seemed strange to me.
You guys have car advertisers. Maybe one of them's listening will call in or text. I mean, I could text one right now. I wish him a happy 4th, but I prefer not.
Happy 4th. Why can't you sell cars on Sunday?
What made you think of that now, since it's
just because Steve mentioned
okay.
they can't. The sale ends on the 5th because they can't sell cars on the 6th because it's a Sunday.
But couldn't they pick it back up again on the 7th?
Except they don't. It ends on the 5th.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can't you sell? We'll ask AI.
Oh boy,
Allen Iverson. Yeah, it's gonna. What's the? You said it's the heat index going to get to 100 today.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when's the next chance for rain, Captain?
Tomorrow.
Like September.
Tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, Wednesday.
And slim chances. There's not a cloud in the sky.
There's good chances during the week.
I was driving in this morning and realized there's not a cloud in the sky.
No.
There wasn't one cloud in the sky.
Tomorrow night, it's like a 70% chance.
Oh, okay. God, we could sure use it.
In many states, the restriction or outright ban is a combination of reasons. Historical blue laws to ensure a day of rest based on religious observance of the Christian Sabbath. A guaranteed day off.
Don't you have guys working on Sunday, Captain?
Yes.
Doesn't Hunter work every Sunday?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, well, I work Saturday, and that's my day of rest.
Yeah?
So there is no day of rest here. That's the...
No, but he should rest here.
That should be your motto, where nobody rests.
Nobody should rest.
Nobody should rest.
On their laurels or physically.
Okay.
Or as Billy said, we're all tired.
Yeah.
But, today's just too hot for the 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because to do something outside. I did see the decent amount of people walking really early this morning around by my house. Because I'm guessing between like 11 and 5, I'm not going to see many people walking. And hopefully I won't see a lot of dogs out being walked during those times. It's too hot.
Heat index right now is at 90.
Yeah, well, when I walked from the car to here, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's really hot, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, please do not take the dogs to the festivities.
Yeah, the stuff
Yeah,
people will, though.
Oh, yes, they
you
will.
know they will. They just do.
They'll have a little cup of water that the dog will slurp up in the first 10 minutes.
Burn its paws and get anxious.
We're wearing the same shirt.
I know.
Kind of corny.
I don't think I've seen you in one of our shirts.
I've worn this shirt.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is the one that I said I've washed it enough to where it's bearable.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's still a little snug, but it's not itchy anymore.
Yeah.
My shirt selection has nothing to do with what they say; it's how they feel. Nothing worse than an itchy, tight T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like tight T-shirts.
I don't like tight at all.
No, I don't either.
I feel like I'm in a
but they can't
straight
itch.
jacket.
They can't itch either.
I feel like I'm in a straight jacket anyway.
Yeah.
No,
Dallas's brother, I believe, announces today.
Does he?
Yes.
Leaning Iowa?
Well, I mean, every time I talk to Dallas, there's kind of. I know Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa, of course, Kansas State and Iowa State, but I think it's Minnesota, Nebraska, and Iowa, and Dallas hasn't tipped his hat to us yet. Because plus, even if he told me, I wouldn't say it here because the kid wants to announce it.
And fair enough.
And it wouldn't surprise me if some people out there, the hounds, the ones that are constantly searching for news and whatever. I could see somebody from another school maybe breaking it that he's going to another school or whatever. So if I had to predict, I'm saying Iowa. It's just because nothing that Dallas is. But I know he grew up a lifelong, even though he's lived in Omaha. His dad and Darian are both big Iowa. I mean, Dallas went to Iowa. That's my guess. And I'm guessing it comes down to Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota. And supposedly he's supposed to announce this afternoon. So that'll be maybe some good news for Hawk fans because they could use a 6'2" cornerback, maybe wide receiver. They're talking now about wide receiver. Ooh. And it would just be I just think it would be funny having Dallas's younger brother on the team. I think that'd be great. That'll make me laugh. Dallas is moving. He's actually moving to Arizona on Tuesday. He's starting a new life down there in Arizona. I guess it's not hot enough for him here.
Well, I was going to say it'll cool down to 115.
Well, it's a real. He keeps telling it's a real dry heat.
Honest to God, I heard that when I went out to Vegas.
That's what people say. Hey, that 120 is so dry.
I lifted the hood or the trunk of my car, and the paint was melting. Seriously.
I mean, when you were last in Vegas, was it near 100?
Let's see. It was hot.
But I will say Vegas never feels like this. It's never this humid.
No.
At least in the time. Well, I've only been there 3 times. But I've been,
it does get, it gets plenty hot.
But it doesn't get really sultry, though, does it? Humid like this?
But you do feel the heat.
I'm sure you do when it's 120 or 115. But
it is like you're walking into an oven.
And here it's like
this is a sauna.
Sauna, yes. This is a sauna, and neither are pleasant. I don't like either one.
No, not really.
No.
So we got to talk about the Hawks.
Well, Lucy Olson had 19 last night.
And I didn't watch the Fever because they were what were they on last night?
They looked great on Amazon Prime.
What the hell, man? They're taking. I can't watch what's going on with YouTube? YouTube.
What do you mean?
They're letting me down, man. They should have these. I'm not going to get a bunch of apps so I can watch.
You need a bunch of apps.
No, you don't need a bunch of apps. Oh, no, but I looked right at the Indiana Fever. When the team tweets the final score. And I just went like an idiot. I go there looking for this team is better without Caitlin. Trade. Somebody had a trade Caitlin and 2 other players for Asia Wilson and just
sure.
If you're going to trade Caitlin, it's going to be for a player like Asia Wilson and a player.
$25 million.
There's 2 or 3 players in the league that you could trade Caitlin for.
And $25 million.
Yeah, Asia Wilson. I'm guessing. If a GM was given a chance to build a roster from scratch using any player, I'm guessing they would pick either Asia Wilson or Caitlin first, maybe Nafisha Collier. It'd be one of those 3. One of those 3. My guess is it'd probably be Asia Wilson, but I think in 2 years, Aaliyah Boston's going to be the best.
She looked real
I think she's going to be the best center in the league in 2 more years. She's a couple years behind Asia, she's really ascending.
She last night, man.
And that Ari McDonald, from what I read, man, she makes a difference. I've seen her play enough. She sounds like she had a great game. Did you watch it?
I did.
Was she good last night?
Ari didn't play quite as well last night.
Did Colson?
Colson played everybody played pretty well.
Yeah,
Howard was great.
One of the narratives I've seen is, they play better as a team without Caitlin. I don't agree. I understand what they're saying because not one player is dominating the ball, but I don't think they play better as a team. Caitlin's very
defensively, maybe.
Because the others are quicker.
Yeah.
But Caitlin's very team oriented. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and I sure hope. My biggest, not that I sit around and worry about it, but is that she comes back and then they struggle a little bit. It's going to get ugly. You know what I mean? It's the narrative on social media. If she comes back and all of a sudden they start losing.
Well, Christine Brennan was on CNN.
She's like Caitlin's spokesperson.
Yeah, I don't know what her.
She's the Caitlin whisperer.
Well, what she's saying is.
Well, you know what she's also doing, Captain? She's also pushing her book.
Yeah.
Which, more power to her.
And she says the league just did not handle this well from the beginning.
Handle what?
Caitlin going into the league and the friction.
Saying they allowed the jealousy to ferment or percolate or.
Well, they allowed it, and in some ways they might have even.
Okay, no, I agree with that, but what could they have done to disallow it? Hey, you can't be jealous of Caitlin. Well, I mean, what are they going to do? How do you change a mindset?
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't know that you can.
Yeah.
And I'm on Caitlin's side. I think it's ridiculous that the players picked her 9th in the league. That to me is, I think there's a little bit of jealousy. And I think it's not as much what she does on the court. I think where these players is what she did at Iowa when these players saw on Twitter she's getting ready to play at an opposing Big Ten arena and there's fans waiting 3 hours before the game to get in there to watch. I think that upset for a lot of people.
Very jealous.
Yeah, that's what I think a big part of it is.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is now she's not playing, and their ratings are down by 50%, and they are.
Are they? Yeah. See, I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
they're
that.
down.
The arenas when the Fever are there, the tickets are still sold. So
and
the crowds are still there.
The seats seem full.
Yeah, but the TV. Yeah, but they probably already purchased a lot of that.
Oh, well, of course they. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I mean, as far as TV goes, no matter what network they're on.
Yeah,
they're down by 50%.
I will say I'm surprised at how well they're playing without her. Aren't you, Tom?
Yeah, I am.
You got to be. I mean, I thought they would really struggle without her, and they haven't.
But they do have a lot of talent. I mean, Aaliyah's playing great. Kelsey Mitchell is fabulous.
Aaliyah's been playing great all season.
She has.
Kelsey Mitchell has for the most. She still at times, I think, hunts shots and can be a little erratic on offense, but no, for the most part. So, no, it will be interesting when Caitlin comes back. How they adjust, because the ball is in her hand a lot more than it's in any of the 5 players who are playing on the court now at one time. Yep. It's just different. And I still believe the ball should be in her hand for longer periods of time, because I still think ultimately she's their best option with the ball in her hand. But if she can learn to play off of Ari McDonald and play some shooting guard and have a stretch where Ari McDonald's helping her get a bunch of open threes, I'm for that too.
You bet.
And that's up to the coaches to figure that out and the players to make it work.
But then if you have Caitlin playing at the 2 and Ari at the 1, then you've got Kelsey Mitchell on the bench.
Well,
I don't know that you can do
you
that.
could also go small.
Well, you're right.
You could play Kelsey Mitchell at 3 or just make it a 2, because then you could also have 6'5" Aaliyah Boston and 6'3" Don. There's you could easily do that. I mean, NBA does a lot of that right now.
Yeah.
Hello.
What I noticed about the game, what was last night and all season, is that the team seems to have picked up Caitlin Clark's passing ability, and they look for it more than they ever did before. And now they're all in sync making these fantastic passes.
I could see that. Yeah, they learn from Caitlin. You're around her. You see it done, and you're the beneficiary of a lot of those passes. You learn how to make them. That's a good point.
Brennan did say that the team has fully accepted there's jealousy in the league, but not on the team.
Tom, do you feel better that Christine Brennan has?
I mean,
I've never heard of Christine Brennan
until
the other day.
She's a USA Today long-time writer, and she just wrote a book on Caitlin. That. Mm-hmm. Well, no, you make a good point, caller.
Kind of the same thing with the Hawks too. When Caitlin played with the Hawks, the more she played, they played with her. They picked up her mannerisms.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Of play.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it made everybody better.
Yep.
Well, yeah, without Caitlin, Iowa would not have made the Final Four either of those years.
I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
4th of July, gentlemen.
You too.
You too.
Knee high by the 4th of July. Remember that little adage?
I'm going to call Chris. She's the Caitlin whisperer.
Well, she's part of her book is her saying, I've told these sports writers that they should be covering women's basketball, and, they've ignored me she also got onto that in the interview. They've ignored me and ignored it. They haven't been fair to these women. And right now, when you have somebody like Caitlin pop up, these other women who've been doing great jobs for years.
As somebody in the media, I would say that I believe Caitlin gets enough coverage, don't you?
I think so.
I think the coverage.
She's saying before Caitlin, they didn't get coverage.
Well, that's
fair enough.
Partly because they didn't believe the product warranted it.
Yeah.
And your media
sometimes it doesn't.
And the media, it costs resources to cover stuff.
Yeah.
As far as you're paying the person to do it, and you're paying for, there's a lot of stuff that goes into covering a team. And if you didn't, just let's use University of Iowa sports. We cover the Iowa football team on a beat basis, men's and women's basketball. But a lot of the other sports we cover when something really noteworthy happens. But that's where the WNBA, I think, fell on the list, on the pecking order, until Caitlin made it more relevant.
Well, and I watched more professional basketball last night, women's basketball, than I've watched the NBA since Michael Jordan.
I'm not like that, but I didn't watch the NBA Finals. I didn't watch the NBA playoffs at all. Once LeBron was out and Steph Curry was out and Durant was out, a lot of the young players, none of them really caught my imagination, and I didn't watch much at all.
Well, Caitlin has done that, and I like the Fever as a team.
Well, Caitlin's done it, but I'm not hunting for WNBA games when Caitlin's not on at all. I'm not knocking it, but I'm still.
No, fair enough.
I'm not going to be a phony here. Yeah, if Caitlin's not involved, no, I'm watching Andy Griffith easily over WNBA.
But
no question asked.
But I wanted to see Lucy play last night, and she played real well.
No, I would give Lucy some time. Rockford Files, no comparison.
Jeez.
That 7:00 hour.
Can't you watch
no, not WNBA without Caitlin and Lucy.
1980.
Without Caitlin and Lucy, that doesn't stand a chance.
Well, fair enough.
It just doesn't stand a chance, Captain. I'm just being
honest.
And
there's, as Steve said, the audiences are down 50%.
Yeah,
when Caitlin
and I'm part of that audience. I'm sad to say, maybe sorry to say. Is that the word I'm looking for, or proud to say?
Either way.
Well, stuff like that though does breed jealousy and
Well, I'm not jealous.
Bad feelings.
I'm not jealous of Caitlin.
Well, no, the other team.
There's
players.
But didn't Dick Vitale lash out?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Caitlin's got a lot of people defending her. She'll be fine. But the nice thing about Caitlin, you never hear her whine or bitch about anything about her.
No.
She's going to give you her opinion but she never really asks for anybody's help to defend her.
She gets off the bench and she congratulates, her teammates.
Well, I think she's realizing, hey, we have a good team.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a team to contend with here if we can.
And she walks around. She walks around the damn arena and signs autographs like mad.
One of the funniest moments in the game last night was Steph White got a technical and Caitlin high-fived her.
Proud of her. Is it me or do they sort of look alike?
Steph and Caitlin?
To me, they sort of do. I don't know. Whenever especially when Steph wears her hair.
I think Caitlin and Citron kind of look alike.
I've seen that too. But no, I did see that because Caitlin was proud that Steph got a technical.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
That's part of the package.
Yeah.
The best Caitlin games are games with a lot of threes, a fair amount of turnovers, and technicals. Those are the best Caitlin games, don't you think? I enjoy them. Not two, just a technical. If you get two, then she's done.
Yeah.
And she never had two technicals in a game at Iowa, did she?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. I don't believe she did. She hasn't in the WNBA either, has she?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But, she got within one technical.
Of being suspended a game for
Yes.
having 7 over. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That was last season.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's going to be interesting. I don't think she's out for the season.
I hope not.
And it will be interesting to see how they get her back. But Caitlin's chomping to get back, and she's thinking, this is great. This is going to work. She's not like these doubters who are thinking, oh, bring her back and it's going to make everything. No, she's thinking that I'm going to make this even better. And I think she ultimately will. And hopefully she just needs to get her three-point shot back. If she gets her three-point shot back, everything else, the passing is incredible.
Yes.
Sometimes too incredible, and she forces things. But it's her three-point shot. That's the thing that she has to get back.
Yep.
and she has to start making them. Maybe this, I'm guessing with this injury, she's had, but the way she's moving on the bench, it looks like she would be able to at least shoot 3-pointers by herself, stationary and stuff like that.
I would think so.
Yeah, because I mean, I watched her a couple times last night. On the highlights, she shot off the bench.
No, she was. They showed right before maybe something beyond.
Was she
Amazon
shooting baskets?
Yeah, she was
Okay.
shooting. She was shooting, and she kept backing up.
How was she moving side by side? That's I think the question.
She is standing still.
Yeah, see, there's a big difference. That's what she's at least still been able to do.
Yeah.
At least you're keeping your muscle memory and your knee bend and all that stuff, which is really so much of shooting is just muscle memory, repetition, knee bend, and it all starts with bend. Yeah, that's what she's able to do that. But I watched her on the highlights on ESPN last night. One time, she just jumped off her.
She did.
See, so that's a good sign to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, but no, congrats to them. They're over 500 now, and now people don't want Steph White fired. She's the greatest coach in the world. And but if they lose here in the next, she'll be on the firing block again.
Well, I mean, they beat the Lynx on their home court, which was a huge victory.
Yeah.
Without Caitlin. So I mean, if they can do that, they can beat.
Yeah, they're
anybody
setting a
anywhere.
bar. I mean, they're also
Yeah.
setting a bar for Caitlin too. There's going to be an expectation when Caitlin comes back. She's going to have to meet the bar that this team has set. You know, if they start losing suddenly, then it's going to be an interesting circumstance. But I don't think they will. I still, if Caitlin continues to miss time, I still think this team will have some setbacks. I don't think they're just going to start beating everybody without Caitlin. Maybe I'm wrong. If they do, then we have a hell of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got me into the Fever. I will watch Fever games.
Me too. Well, with her, some, but not as much.
Yeah, but I mean...
Now, if she would start getting technicals on the bench and stuff, then I'd come back and watch more. Wait and think there's always a chance she may go off on the officials.
That could happen.
I would would you laugh if that happened? I want her to get a technical from the bench. Don't you think that'd be fun?
No.
It's happened.
Yeah, it has happened.
It does
I
happen.
did like her high five.
Yeah,
I'll just never forget when they showed that clip of her watching the Drake-Iowa game in Des Moines. Remember that? She's pointing at the official. It was great. She was just in complete outrage over some call that Iowa didn't get. I thought that was funny. So,
well, Caitlin cracks me up. She's nobody can ever doubt her passion.
Without question,
for sure.
And no, she was right there, loving every minute of watching her teammates succeed like that. So yeah, they're about halfway. They're 9-8?
I believe 9-8.
So they're almost approaching the halfway mark here on this great day of independence.
And the Aces were just terrible.
Yeah, I guess the coach went off on them. I said ESPN's like, they were promoting. What's the coach's name? She's the one that used to coach.
Is it Becky Hammond?
Becky Hammond. I guess she just went off on the team after. I didn't realize that's Asia Wilson's team, right?
Yeah.
So what did she do?
29 points.
Oh, she at least did her part.
And she sat out like 5 minutes of the second quarter with a shoulder.
Okay, so I'm not ready to say that Aaliyah Boston has narrowed the gap yet with Asia Wilson.
No, Asia is real good, but their guard triad,
Don't they have Jewel Lloyd?
Yes.
What'd she do?
Nothing. Virtually nothing.
Really? She was part of this big trade talk that was on the Twitter afterwards, sending Caitlin to Vegas and Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd, and a first-round pick or something like that. And then it just dissolved into just hacks just ripping each other, trolls. That's what they almost always do.
But you take Asia Wilson away from that team, they got nothing inside.
Man, that's interesting.
I mean, they traded first-round picks to get Alyssa Smith.
Weren't they just a power like last year?
2 years ago, they were the best. Yeah,
and they have Becky Hammond, who's considered one of the great coaches. She's been mentioned for NBA jobs, just like Don Staley was mentioned for the Knick job, which eventually went to Mike Brown, which doesn't surprise me. Now, it's one of those jobs where if they don't do something significant in 2 years, he'll probably be fired. That's the life of a recycled NBA coach. But it's good money along the way.
So, yeah, but Asia had an incredible – she is so smooth.
Yeah, I've
so
watched
good.
games, though, where she can't buy a basket. Like those 5-foot turnarounds in the lane, they just bounce. She's had games where she can't make a basket. She's not a great shooter. She's just a great athlete who can get to the basket, and she's relentless, too.
She is.
So, but, yeah, take her points away. What was the final, like 81-54?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So 25 5 points for the rest of the team, and Asia had 29.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. No wonder the coach went off.
No, they were awful.
That's also not great for the WNBA either. I bet a lot of people turn the
it
TV
isn't.
on. I mean, I bet a lot of people are like, oh, this game sucks. I'm moving on. You know, that probably didn't help their. When will the rating for that game come out?
Sometime this afternoon.
And what was this? What was the app again?
Well, I don't know if it's July 4th. I don't know if it'll come out this afternoon. It might come out tomorrow. Or
What was the app again
what?
that had the game last night? What was it on?
Prime.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon
Prime.
Speaking the holiday, I called Imon. I had a question I wanted to ask, and right away you get their office is shut down yesterday, today, and tomorrow, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, because for the holiday. They're celebrating the great independence. Imon.
Well, they ought to go
Independence from work.
Imon independence.
They ought to go independence from sending out mail every freaking day.
Well, I'm getting it every day now from Extreme.
Yeah.
They're offering me 2 years of $50 a month highest speed internet. They want me back, and I just because then after 2 years, and I'm back to paying. It'll be like $500 a month. Well, I guess where you get killed with Mediacom is television.
Yeah, I don't.
But I've had no problems with Imon, and it's like $60 a month. So it's just not worth. And it's never gone out. I've never all the time I've had it.
I haven't had any problems with.
My Mediacom internet wasn't bad. It did go out a few times. It was you still have Mediacom TV?
No, I've got YouTube TV.
You do? Okay. So does anybody? You don't? You have Direct
TV,
which is pretty expensive.
It sure is.
But I mean, I
sure
lost. I was home last weekend, and KFMH the internet went down.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting, this guy in Colorado is just. He must listen to that damn station 24 hours a day, because I just noticed that my TV went out.
Uh-huh.
And the minute my TV went out, I get an email. Hey, you're off the air on KFMH. And what it was the modem was looking for this Wi-Fi booster that I had sitting in a box. I've never put it on because Wi-Fi is perfect throughout the house.
Uh-huh.
Well, the modem was looking for it, so I had to call them up, and they said, well, your modem's looking for this. And I said, well, I've never attached it. Oh, okay, you don't need it? I said, no. Well, take it back. You'll save $5. So I'm down to like 63 now.
But it's still looking at.
Yeah, and he fixed it right away. He fixed it.
Oh, great.
So, no, I'll stick with. They gave me the same deal that Imon was offering, and why switch?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I've been happy with it. I just saw on Twitter that Oasis is having their first concert today in 16 years.
Yeah.
They start beating.
Think there'll be a fight? 50-50 shot?
Start beating the crap out of each other.
I think it'll be the last one.
I mean, I don't think I've ever. They've got Wonderwall, and what's the other one that was sort of famous?
Did they do Everybody?
Yeah,
Hurts,
yeah,
or whatever.
No, that's REM.
That's REM, but we can't do that. Spot. That's right.
Yeah, I love those two songs.
Yeah.
And Wonderwall got overplayed, man, in the mid-'90s. It was on all the time.
But I don't think the tour will.
You think
I don't know that it'll end tonight, but I don't think it'll.
They headbutt.
So it's a full-blown tour?
Yeah.
One smashes a guitar over the other's head. Would you like to see that? There are two brothers that don't like each other, right?
No, they really don't like each other.
What is
I mean, it's
and
not.
then you had that
it's
with
not fake.
Don't
they
the
don't
Knopfler
like each other.
look? Don't the Knopfler? I
Yeah.
read where
Hate each other.
I don't think Mark Knopfler's talked to his brother in like 40 years.
No, they don't like each other.
They were in the band together, right?
Yeah.
That's probably why they don't like each other. I assume something business-wise.
I think it was before that they didn't like each other.
But they still were able to come up with that kind of music.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And Ray and Dave Davies and the Kinks have
Didn't they
had
work
issues.
things out? Didn't they?
I believe they have.
Yeah, they're going on tour.
Yeah,
Did the Wilson brothers?
but-
Did the Wilson brothers like each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Well, Dennis also didn't he like Charles Manson too?
Yes.
Didn't he hang with him?
Yeah, well, Charles Manson's actually singing in the background of some of the.
Here's my
some
buddy
of the
Chuck.
songs. Not good.
No, not good.
No, the other brothers. In fact, that put a rift in the Beach Boys while he.
I
was
would think
hanging
so. Hey,
around,
we got
because the other brothers were
They didn't want to be friends with Charles Manson.
They were afraid of him.
Well, and apparently rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they thought this guy's too...
I'm barely old enough. I do remember. You know when you have these little images when you're a little kid, you remember little certain things for just so no... I do remember seeing the headline of the newspaper laying on our dining room table. Big headlines, second... You know what I mean? Because it even was big news here.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember my parents, I don't remember what they were saying, but I would have been like, what was that, 69?
Yeah,
that's August
69,
of 69.
yeah.
I mean, I would have been like 5, but I do remember it. I just do remember it. Everyone was kind of freaked out by it.
I think I was 10. Or the thing that got me where I first realized, wow, was when George Reeve killed himself.
Superman?
And the headline in the paper was Superman dies. And
How'd he kill himself?
As a little kid.
Gunshot, wasn't it?
Gunshot.
Really?
Well, I went out in '79 to L.A., and they were still running stories on that and still saying he didn't kill himself.
That someone killed him?
Yeah, that someone killed him. So
why would he have killed him? What was going on? He was Superman.
He was
tough bar to.
He couldn't.
True.
Yeah, he couldn't get any other acting stuff. Yeah, and he was in movies in the '40s a lot.
So he was typecast.
And he was typecast.
He was
as Superman.
Eve Plum before Eve Plum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure the Jan Brady stuff kept her from...
They had canceled the series in '57, and then all these stations picked it up. It was always syndicated. They picked it up. And so then Kellogg's went back to the studio and said, well, we want more Superman, Superman episodes. And he was he enlisted again with the rest of the staff, except Perry White was very sick at the time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are we talking about?
Superman show.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I just...
himself.
Okay.
Killed himself. That's what.
Oh, that's sad. I wasn't aware of that, but I didn't watch the Superman show. I never.
Well, you weren't alive.
I wasn't alive, and the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. That was okay. Was that the one Gene Hackman was in too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
He was Lex Luthor. Yeah, that one was okay. And what was the one where the 4 villains came? Was that the same one I'm talking about? You had the woman and the.
That I don't know.
I thought that was the same.
I don't know. I watched the first one, and then
that's the
Superman
first
movie.
I've just never been a huge Superman, Batman. None of that stuff has ever really interested me at all.
The Superman movie is out, I think, today again.
I mean, the Batman thing. I remember
New
Superman. I used to watch Batman as a little kid, just so when they punched and they had the cartoon, they'd show pow. That was my reason for.
How old were you then?
When was it out? 60s.
66 and 67.
Like 3, 4. I used to laugh. I'd like to see when they'd hit someone, they would say "pow." That was why I watched.
Zowie.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I was too young to understand it.
So who's playing Superman now?
I don't know. I don't know the guys.
I saw him being advertised on Twitter. I can't remember his name.
No, the Marvel Universe, that crap. I don't.
Tommy's really into that.
Hardly any of those movies.
What's Marvel? Is that the same as Superman?
Marvel Comics, all the Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I know, but I never
Flash.
have never been a comic book. That stuff has never interested me.
New Superman
actor.
Comic books. Were you interested in comic books as a kid?
Yes,
never was.
Very much so.
I never was.
Yep.
I used to like David Gornsweet.
I used to like to get the bubble gum that came with a.
Oh, that stuff was foul.
No, but as a little kid, you loved it.
What?
The nasty the bubble gum that would come with like baseball cards and as a kid, man, as a little kid,
I liked the cards.
Yeah, I remember what the gum tasted like and smelled like.
Yeah,
didn't it have like some type of white powder on
sure
it?
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? Was that
Coke?
Cocaine? Cocaine? I was.
No wonder
I was committing felonies at 4 years of age.
So what's his name?
His name is David Cornsweet.
How's it spelled?
Corenswet.
Correns, wow.
And Rachel Brosnahan will play Lois Lane.
Oh, that's nice. That's she. I can't. What was the show that she did? What is it? Mrs. Maisel. Yeah, she was.
She's
great.
Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, Rachel Brosnahan. Yeah.
What's Mrs. Maisel? It sounds like a band from the 80s.
It's a show about a female stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay.
Was on for years.
Yeah, I missed it. Damn.
You're watching.
Damn, I missed
the
it.
Rockford Files.
Damn right.
The marvelous
Andy
Mrs.
Griffin.
Maisel.
Damn right. You give me Rocky over Mrs. Mavel or whatever her name is.
Jesus.
Mom's Mabley.
How many times?
How about
can
Mom's
you,
Mabley?
How many times can you see it?
Apparently,
I mean,
multiple. What about Mom's Mabley? Are you a big fan of her?
Playing Lois Lane. I wouldn't go to that movie.
No, I think that's good. I don't know that I'll watch the new Superman, but
I won't.
I do like Rachel Brosnahan.
Well, if you got it on it'll be on Amazon or something.
Yeah,
It'll be
but
free.
but I don't know that I'll watch it.
So what are the fireworks? Iowa City has them tonight?
Tonight.
No, Iowa City has them tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tonight, Coralville's got them.
Corval's got them?
Yeah.
I wonder who had them last night as I was listening throughout there was a lot of them going off.
There's a lot of neighborhood crap going on.
There was a
Wapsie had a rough night.
Yeah, there was a ton going off.
Yeah.
And I knew one, I could tell from one, a lot of it was right off of Muscatine. I knew right where it was coming from because it was just not. I was laughing a couple times. It was so loud. So do the cops go and visit those things?
No.
They don't.
No, they say it's the law now that they can do it.
Oh, so everything's legal now. I mean, well,
it's
like
all legal.
Like an M80, is that legal now?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean,
dynamite.
They yeah, sure.
Well, it's legal for what? 2 days.
2 days. Why don't you go out and get some dynamite?
You remember Grandma Dynamite?
Jesus, I hated that show.
Yeah, but you did. You like Grandma Dynamite? Didn't you?
No, I did not. I
didn't
I didn't like the whole
premise of the Flintstones.
It was.
Stupid. I didn't really like it either, and yet I watched it. If that makes any sense.
Well, the Flintstones jumped the shark badly with the kazoo or gazoo.
Oh, that when they got Gazoo, I was done.
I mean,
but I was older
stupid.
then too. Yeah, I liked it when the Bribs tipped over the car at the drive-thru.
I did like that.
Okay. What are the odds that the Flintstones and the Jetsons are going to meet?
Well, one's in the future and the other's in the past.
I would say pretty good because they have artists drawing them.
Okay, but Tom, in real life.
So what's Dino? So you have Dino with the Flint. What's the dog's name in the Jetsons?
Astro.
Would they get along? Dino and Astro?
They got along.
They did. Oh, so there was a show where they got together?
There was a movie.
Oh, okay. Why? So there was a movie about the Flintstones getting to meet the Jetsons?
Yes,
there was.
Yeah, called the Flintstones.
So did one go back in
Jetsons.
time, or did the other go? Who?
I don't remember. I think the Jetsons went back in
I think
time.
they had,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah, the
technology
Flintstones.
wasn't there for the Flintstones.
Yeah.
So the Jetsons went from being able to fly in the air in their own little car to driving cars with rock wheels.
Well, I'll look it up.
Huh. How about Mr. Slate?
Mr. Slade was a dick.
He was sort of a. I mean,
Okay, Fred Flintstone was based on Gleason.
Jackie Gleason,
Yeah, it was based on.
or maybe Jackie
Honeymooners.
Gleason was based on what came first.
No, Jackie Gleason, The Honeymooners.
Really, never watched it.
1949.
Never watched it.
And
Not funny.
he was he was just damn. He was still being
angry.
shown.
Yeah.
He's angry. He's abusive. They're living in a dump.
And the apartment's depressing.
Well,
I mean,
and not only that, but now you can see the walls moving. I mean, but yeah, they're living in a 2-room. Well, they have to have a bathroom, so a 3-room apartment and a dump, and all they have is a freaking chair and a kitchen table.
What does he do for a living in that show?
He's a bus driver.
bus
Bus
driver.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I never. Obviously, it was way before my time, but it had to have been popular. I mean, it was on.
Oh, hugely popular.
They made 39 episodes of it to stand alone, And then when he got a variety show, they interweaved it and they softened him. In all fairness, so he wasn't such an.
Because there were some movies I watched him in, he was pretty funny. Oh well, hey, let's mention, and we can talk about when we come back. Iowa released what's funny is they buried the big news. They released the ticket information for winter sports, and they also, way down in the release, mentioned that there's going to be some courtside seating for what's going to be predominantly students. So they're going to have a section they call a riser that's going to be at the south baseline where the wrestling tunnel is that connects you. And it's going to be able to seat at least 200. It's what I wrote today. It's a step. It's a first step in getting this. And they're also going to have concessions. They're going to start taking advantage of that space there on the baseline by the tunnel where the wrestling tunnel connects. And they're going to have some points of purchase for. It's a step. It's a step, and I think it's the first step in gradually moving the entire section more around courtside. And I'll give Beth credit because so far what she said she's going to do, she's done. She didn't waste time with the Brian Ferentz situation. And I know it wasn't just her decision, but she's shown to be pretty decisive right now.
And with Fran, too.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. She got rid of Fran the day after the season ended. I know they had probably had other discussions, but she didn't waste any time there. And there was a lot of people. Now, she may be wrong. There were a lot of people a lot of those players wanted Carl Golan to stay as the softball coach. She didn't budge, and she ended up getting somebody with better credentials. If you just look at them objectively, that doesn't mean Stacey May Johnson's going to be the answer. And I will say, did you see some of the schools? Rob Howe, actually, he's writing for the Little Village now. He had an article about softball, and Jenny Young's at Alabama, Sujin Berry's at UCLA, Jalen Adams is at Arizona, and that Talia Trenton, who's from Nevada, is at Nevada. And the Ramirez girl, the catcher's at Mississippi State. That tells you right there that Iowa had some really
good athletes.
Really good players.
Yep.
And, a lot of that you have to give credit to Renee Gillespie. I mean, she was the coach, and I know she's out of the picture now, and I hope she's doing okay. I haven't heard anything good or bad, to be honest with you, but that's kind of forgotten. That she was the coach when these girls came. So obviously the softball team had some really good talent. Jenny Young was 2-time All-Big Ten, and Alabama can get about any, but that's a great program. So I found that interesting. What do you got, Captain?
Okay, this was a 90-minute movie.
Are we back to the Honeymooners or the Flintstones?
Flintstones. Fred and Barney get fired by Mr. Slate.
What you said, Dick.
He is a dick.
Yeah.
It's a dick move.
Meanwhile, Elroy invents a time machine, and the Jetsons go back and run into the Flintstones.
Why did Elroy invent a time machine? Is he really smart?
Because he could.
I guess he could.
Did Astro go with him?
Oh, yeah.
It does not. Astro.
Okay, I've heard
enough.
All did. Okay, I've heard enough. Do you want to hear more?
They all did.
So
do we need to give this any more? I wish Spotify.
Well, so doesn't there have to be a high point of the movie? I mean, what was the
Spotify might suspend us just for this.
Well, maybe they should.
And it's no music, but it is torture, and there's got to be. We violate the Flintstone copyright. Isn't that Hanna-Barbera? Aren't they? Weren't
they?
Yeah. Well, it was on long enough to where they must have been making money off it, right?
The only Hanna-Barbera that I ever got a kick out of was Quick Draw McGraw.
What about Johnny Quest?
No, I hated that.
Oh, he's
I loved Johnny Quest as a kid.
Terrible.
I liked the big spider. I don't know.
I
was like 7. I wasn't looking for humor.
Well, the Flintstones wasn't funny.
I was looking for. Yeah, but Flintstones tried to be. Johnny Quest
was
tried
in color.
Johnny Quest tried to be serious. Johnny Quest was serious, life-threatening stuff.
The Flintstones were color and animation, and that's why people watched it.
What about Bandit? Remember Bandit, the dog in Johnny Quest?
Not really.
I remember Johnny Quest, but I think I watched.
You were a little.
I watched like maybe one episode of Johnny Quest. And
I quit watching it when I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
but from 8 to 12, I loved it.
How would Hadji go over now?
He'd probably wouldn't he be deported?
Either that or be the CEO of a company.
Yeah, well, a tech company.
Well, where is he from? India?
Yeah.
No, he'd be fine here.
Hello.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, what?
Jane Jetson or Betty Rubble?
Jane Jetson.
Oh, no, that's fair enough.
It's hard to do. It's hard to visualize cartoon characters. Betty had black hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was Jane's?
She's a redhead.
Yeah.
Wilma was a redhead, too.
Wilma was a redhead.
Yeah.
So Wilma and Jane Jetson were similar?
I think Jane Jetson had red hair, didn't she? Judy had kind of silver hair.
Jesus Christ, we're going to take a break. We'll be back.
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America, for America event.
Sale extended through July 6th. Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy 20,000 square foot indoor facility holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier, for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, Be a dear and call Premier. I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a dear and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know, if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember, we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
You take great care to maintaining your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
At the Oxyoke Inn, we're ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect for over 85 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Make reservations at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke Inn.
In the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
It is going to be a hot and humid 4th of July. We're going to get to around 93 for a high today, but you throw the dew point up to around 70, and that's going to take the heat index pretty close to 100 by later this afternoon. Mostly sunny today. Good night tonight for fireworks. Partly cloudy, 72. Tomorrow, another hot, humid day with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. And tomorrow night, our high tomorrow, near 90. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Temperature now 84.
Wow. Heat index is
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
There you go.
Okay. The heat index is 95 right now. leave your animals at home.
Yes.
Don't take them to the festivals. And check where you go out, because there's stores open and stuff. Please check the cars around you. Make sure no child or dog, pet is left in the car. Even with the windows down in these conditions, it can get in 10 minutes, it can get to be 125 to 135.
Yeah, just leave them at home.
Yeah, and if you leave your air conditioning running, like the older cars, they'll die in this humidity. The newer cars are on a timer, and
mine's an hour.
Seriously?
If I leave it on, it says your engine will shut off in 1 hour.
I think that's kind of the common.
Mine is 17 minutes.
Well, then you're shortchanged. Suter's car's a lot better than yours.
Yeah, mine's
just
an hour.
better.
It's brand new.
Just a better car.
Yeah,
better car.
Well, it's okay. I like my car, but your car is
just better.
They're both Camrys. Yeah. There's not a huge difference.
But, well, yeah, there is.
Although mine's a hybrid.
Yours is a hybrid, and you can put your phone on your console, and it'll charge it.
So, do you think that car sitting out there feels superior to Captain's car? Do you think it's looking at Captain's car?
I think my payments are less.
They would be.
Yeah.
But my car shoots oil at Steve's car.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it shows its superiority.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
Well, Elroy Jetson designed my car.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said Haji would not be deported. He'd be running some...
he'd run a tech company.
The tech company.
Or he'd be working at a call center.
Okay. You ever worked at a call center?
No.
Jim has.
Oh, really? I would be terrible at that. Were you good at it, Hunter?
For a while.
I would be horrible. I couldn't do it. I still get bizarre phone calls from... I'm getting a lot of solar. And eventually I may look into solar, because even when I called Mid-America, they're like, yes, we would have... They're encouraging their customers to get involved with the solar stuff, because it helps take some of the strain off of them. I was surprised, because somebody knocked on my door from a company in North Liberty, and the problem when they go door to door is I didn't want to do it right then.
Are you sure they were from North?
Oh yeah, I looked at all. Yes,
okay.
They were legit.
I'm not going to buy a $25,000 solar package from some guy going door to door.
Well, no, and I couldn't afford it, but he made it sound like there is an it's hard to explain that it wouldn't be much cost for me. But for me, I don't know if I want those things up on the house. I don't know. But he caught me off guard. I wasn't ready to. He wanted the deal to go down. I mean, he didn't want to leave until I had agreed. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going to call Mid-American just to see if there's any legitimacy to this. And then I got him to leave. I mean, he was pretty persistent. And when I called Mid-America, they're like, yes, those are, we are encouraging because it does help take some of the pressure and, amount of usage and what have you, but I'm just not ready to do it.
Well, they're
yet.
taking away the incentives, so...
Now, if any solar company out there wants to advertise, that changes everything.
Sure does.
I'm serious. I mean, that's an easy way to look at it. And I know Tim DeWhite's doing a lot of solar stuff. Yep. I don't know. I don't know what company he has. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think we mostly at our house is more gas than electricity.
I'm trying to think. Well, like my stove's all electric. I probably have more electricity.
I don't know. The guy was coming down, and I talked to neighbors, and he was, pushing the solar stuff. But he was coming by my house, and
they're out there.
I'm in charge of watering the plants now.
I mean, I get calls for it all the time.
My neighbor helps with that, but he's coming down the road, and he starts coming in the driveway, and I said, just leave me alone.
Well, solar companies have replaced. So I get more solar company than I do car warranties now. The car warranty stuff is really cooled down.
I don't get any of that.
Yeah, I get it on my landline that I hardly use anymore. I'm about ready to get rid of my landline. It's costing me like $15 to $20 a month. It's just not worth it. I'm about ready to get rid of it since I have better reception and I'm able to interview people on my cell phone at home now. I used to not have any cell phone reception. Now it's better. But I think I'm about done with the landline.
At one point, I had to have the landline with MediaCom with the TV. Now I don't have.
No, you don't
need that. and I'd watch all these 800 numbers come up on the screen before I shut that
I'm
off.
old-fashioned, too. I've just always liked having a landline. I used to do tons of interviews on my landline for work. And I just kind of was always used to it around, but now it just seems like a waste.
I haven't had a landline in 15
Most
years.
people don't.
I have one. I don't know why we don't dump it.
I don't even know the number to your landline. You know, I don't think I've ever.
I know the number.
Say it on the air so people can start calling.
Well, we don't answer it, so
I don't answer mine either. Yeah, I mean, and now there's on a rare occasion, if I look at my landline, it's somebody, a friend of mine. There may be some old friends from the past that may only have that number and not my new cell.
Yeah.
Then I'll answer it.
Yeah,
but no, for the most part, you can always tell when it's a spam or some. You can just tell by the number, like Walnut, Iowa. I mean, it'll just have some obscure Iowa. That's just
the weirdest damn thing is my number came up because they just fake these numbers. My number came up as calling me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did answer that. And it was somebody doing a sales pitch, and I said, how'd you get this number? What do you mean? I said, your number is my number. What? I said, your number is exactly my number. So this is a fake number you're using. How'd you get it? I just work for this company, he goes. I said, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, because I thought, why am I calling myself?
And what are you calling yourself? Yeah. Sobe? Did you call yourself Sobe?
Sobe. Everybody called me Sobe.
Yeah.
Same thing with my kid.
But nobody calls you that now, though.
No. A-hole, fat ass, whatever.
You're captain.
Captain.
People respect your rank.
Jan never did.
No.
Jan will not respect my rank.
She doesn't.
Anyway.
And there's still people who proudly say, you're not a real captain. You've never been in the military. No.
None of us have.
No.
Cowards.
I got drafted,
yeah.
And but then I flunked out of the physical.
What'd they say? You'd last 5 seconds in a rice paddy. Is that what they told you?
They told me that I had...
That's where you were headed.
Asthma. And it turned out it wasn't asthma. It was a heart arrhythmia. But the diagnosis of asthma.
And you danced all the way home, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were probably the happiest.
Yes, I was very happy because I had lost seriously.
That would have sucked, man.
6 friends in the Vietnam War.
I remember. I'm barely old enough to remember that the draft was still around.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a weird dynamic. Yeah. And of course, the draft, like so many other things, was not fair.
No.
I mean, who they took, and just people used college as a way to avoid it, and just.
My dad was in the service, and he said to me, you're not going. You're going to Canada. I'll send you to Canada. And I said,
would you have gone to Canada?
No, I would not. No, I went up, and I had my physical, and I was prepared to.
You would have turned out to be like Tom Berenger's character in Platoon. That would have been you over in.
We did a remote once at a paintball place when I was at KFMH, and
you pretended it was Vietnam.
Well, they fire off a gun to start the war or whatever.
The war.
And within I don't know, 5 seconds, I got shot in the head with the paintball. I mean, I was out of it.
You were dead.
Seriously, within 5 seconds.
And you're thinking that may have been you in Vietnam?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I read a stat. I think if you get killed in Vietnam, it was usually within like the first 1 or 2 days you were there. And then if you survive, it was a weird stat. I mean, and it was on the internet, but it was just, I don't know, like I said, I've always been fascinated by that war. Of course, for, not because it was, I mean, I was old enough to sort of remember it, but just the fact that we stayed in it for so long.
Well, I lost 6, seriously. Moline High, we lost 6 classmates.
Well, what year were you born?
In a couple of years.
49?
49.
Yeah, you were right. I mean, you were right in the middle of it. They were
taking everybody from I don't know.
The 3 years you had made a difference.
Yeah.
150 down, and I was number 90.
God, to think it ended 50 years ago. I mean, 75 is when we completely pulled out of there, right?
I believe
when
that's
the
right.
helicopters were being seen.
50 years, yeah.
50 years. Think about that. It's been done for 50 years. It's crazy.
And I never did understand, I never understood why we treated the people coming back like we did.
Yeah, I didn't get that either when I read about it.
It's because the country was completely divided.
It was.
And it was in the midst of a cultural change.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of similar to now, not the same circumstances, of course, but yeah, no, that was
well, and everybody said,
tough time.
Everybody says now you see these things. Remember when Walter Cronkite just gave you the news and told the truth? They don't remember, or they weren't born, or whatever. Walter Cronkite was called a libtard. They, one side hated him because he was exposing the war, and I remember some columnist in the Tribune said he's only showing you the bad side of the war.
They wouldn't allow you to show pictures of the caskets.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. So Walter Cronkite would have fit in fine with cable news. People rewrite history all the freaking time.
They do.
Yeah. He demanded that CBS. I mean, he went to fight with CBS over showing the war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother-in-law served three tours in Vietnam.
Wow. All three by force, or all three by choice, or what?
He was. I don't know that he volunteered.
Did he get drafted?
Initially, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he's got some stories to tell.
Yeah. He never talked about it much.
Yeah, and I can respect that too. Yeah, it's their business.
My dad never talked about the war. And my father-in-law, they both served, and they wouldn't talk about it.
I think that's common for a lot of people that serve.
My Uncle Babe didn't want to talk about it, and he was at Bastogne.
Why talk about what had to have been
paratrooper?
What had to have been awful memories for the most part.
Yeah.
War is hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. In the Vietnam War, it was brutal. I mean, they're all brutal. I mean, but the Vietnam War, we lost. We couldn't figure out a way to win.
Well, and neither could the French.
And the North Vietnamese army, with help from Russia, was just better than the South Vietnamese. They wanted it more. I sound like a coach. I mean, they were more willing to sacrifice and risk than the South Vietnamese were, and they got what they wanted. And 50 years later, it's still under communist control.
Well, and interestingly enough, now it's a vacation destination.
Yeah, and we trade with
got you and Ann 3 weeks in 2027. What do you think? Could you like that?
Not 3 weeks.
3 weeks, that'd give you enough time to go to all, like, the wars. You could go to all the different war sites, and like Hamburger Hill and stuff like that. Would you go? I know it's sets. Would you go and see, like where the My Lai massacre and stuff like that? Would you want to see something that brutal?
I think so.
See,
if I were to go.
I'm the same way. If I'm over there, I'd want to see. I mean, that was a low point for us, but it's a significant part of our history.
Never want to go there.
I would, because you're right, though. They have some really neat tour stuff there now. They're making a ton of money. But I could also see your point.
It's a beautiful, beautiful country.
Well, you look at some of those
blowing everybody up.
Yeah, when you look at some of those old Vietnam War documents, beautiful countryside stuff.
Unbelievable.
Then you got all these bombs and people. Yeah, it was just.
We got nice fields out here. I don't. Vietnam.
Well, out here is okay, but there's.
I'd like to go to England. I've been to Germany.
How about Australia?
Mate?
I don't know.
How about Hawaii?
Been to Hawaii. I have.
I don't know that I'm gonna.
How about the Maldives?
I'd like to go to.
Where are the Maldives?
I'd like to go to Alaska.
Yeah, I mean, are they off near India?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I've just always read that that's like a big rich vacation spot.
It is.
Have you? Have you ever been there?
No.
You've been to Alaska.
Yeah, our band played. I was there for a couple of months.
Yeah. Oh, with the band?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
3 months.
I'd like to go see Alaska.
Me too.
Yeah.
Remember Lisa? Didn't Lisa say she was going to go up there for like a month?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's done that yet. She was going to go up there and do a lot of photography.
No, it's Alaska is very, very, very different and very cool.
Well, we're here if somebody's like fighting with guns or something, we'll arrest them or something. I mean, not shooting up, but we'll arrest them. There, if they get in a fight and the police just say, go home.
With a gunfight?
Yeah. Because there was some show that I did watch once where they show Alaska and they show law enforcement, cops in Alaska or whatever, and they just break up fights by talking to them and sending them away. There wasn't a lot of
Aren't a lot of them drunk?
Yeah, most of them.
Drinking, I've heard, I've read it's pretty severe.
I mean, did you get that feeling or no?
That it was a kind of a Wild West thing? A little bit. But we were in clubs.
Yeah. Were you like in Fairbanks and Anchorage?
We played in Anchorage.
Which one's further north?
Wasilla, Fairbanks.
Wasilla, that's where Layla Hayes is from.
No, we played Wasilla for
maybe her parents were in the audience when you were playing, yelling Freebird.
No, she'd be too young.
No, her parents.
Or no,
I'm guessing her parents are somewhere between 40 and 60, wouldn't you say? Probably.
Well, she's 18.
So if they were 40, they would have had her. It's probably 45.
Be doubtful, but possible.
I'm guessing her parents are somewhere around 50. Would be my guess.
Sarah Palin certainly could have been there.
Yeah, she's my age. Yeah. So when's the last time when did you play in Wasilla?
It was 1990 or 91.
Okay, so 35
91.
years ago. 15.
Yeah.
Oh, well, could they have? These were bars where did you have to be of legal drinking age to play?
Yeah.
Okay, so God, to think somebody 50 would be too young to have watched.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, Captain.
Yeah, where we
You're
played.
still watching Rockford Files.
Makes me feel young, man. It happened in the 70s. There's still hope in the 70s.
No, there really wasn't.
No, I guess there wasn't. But
I mean, the weather in Anchorage is basically Cedar Rapids.
I mean, Fairbanks is the one that's further north, right?
It is. Yeah. Fairbanks gets a little rough.
And Wasilla, is that north or south?
Of Anchorage?
In Alaska, is it up north?
It's south.
South, okay. Yeah, that makes a big
So
difference.
does Anchorage, when you say Cedar Rapids, even in the winter?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't get horrible.
I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
on
realize that either.
Yeah.
So, back to the Hawks.
Speaking
so
of
did you watch Lucy Olson last night?
Yes.
And what channel was that on? The same one?
I have the WNBA.
Oh, see, I have that,
pass.
so I could have watched that one.
Yes.
I have that. I just didn't think about it. But what's funny is there was a tweet out there talking about Lucy Olson, 19 points for Washington. So I tweeted it and clicked on the audio or the video, and the video was the other team scoring 2 baskets against. And I'm like, why? It was the headline to the tweet didn't match the video.
Yeah.
It was weird. So I undid my tweet because it wasn't anything about Lucy. But that's great.
She made most of her shots.
Well, that usually will make the difference. Did she shoot well from 3? Were any of them 3?
She had at least 1 3 and maybe 2.
I mean, Lucy was a streaky shooter at Iowa, especially from 3. There were times. Well, good for her though. At least it's shown she belongs in the league. You got Lucy and Kate both. They belong. I mean, they're playing really well. Is Megan still hurt?
She's still hurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's got her little dog.
She does pancakes. And
is that what the little?
So gets paid.
That's a corgi, right? A corgi.
Corgi. Yeah.
There's a video on Twitter that shows it's a corgi race, and they show the corgis all in the gate, all in their cages, like 6 of them. They break out. Instead of racing, they all start talking to each other right in front of the boxes. They all just start sniffing each other, and nobody's interested in running. It is so funny. There are some fun animal posts on social media. That's one good thing you get. You know, I mean,
I follow a husky named Moon, and
huskies are unusual dogs.
Yeah.
So there's a husky that has his own account?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
left or right?
It talks, and they put subtitles.
What's his political affiliation?
Doesn't have.
Doesn't have. Good for him. Good for him.
You know, we posted this thing, and this is sports gambling, but this bill that was passed yesterday, Trump's bill.
Yeah.
Professional gamblers are like going nuts because it's going to tax them, and it's going to. And this one guy that answered our Facebook owns this company and says, for small companies like mine, it's a big deal. It means I might owe taxes on profit I don't actually have because the biggest chunk of my spending paying people doesn't fully come in the same year. I used to more or less break even, but this has caught us off guard.
But if he breaks even, what type of income tax would he pay on that? I mean, since there's no income to tax.
I don't know.
Huh, well.
Yeah, good question.
I don't know. It's July 4th. I don't want to worry about that. I'm going to go home and crank Hendrix so loud that it's going to shatter my windows.
You don't even think that sports gambling is going to...
Yeah, but what about... I know you don't like the national anthem by Hendrix, Captain, but I'm going to just...
Oh, I do.
Captain doesn't like it. He ripped it.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like it. He ripped it.
I thought it was amazing at the time.
Yeah, Captain says it's loud, too long, and just obnoxious is what you said.
Well, and I stand by it.
I know you do.
It's, you know.
What makes it so?
It's just he got sounds out of his guitar that nobody else was getting. I mean, it just sounded like bombs.
Yeah, and it was. And what didn't you like
his
about
whammy bar? He just really, it was pretty amazing.
All right, your counterpoint. Counter what he just said.
Bunch of freaking noise.
I could see why somebody wouldn't like it, but you're also somebody who plays the guitar, so you can appreciate it. But I do it every fourth. I play it as loud as I can. Hopefully, don't blow my speakers. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do that when I get home. I turned you guys on today, and you were playing "Holiday" by Madonna.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your July 4th tribute?
No, that's
what we do.
I just play "Holiday" by Madonna.
That's what we do. That's what you're saying.
I loved "Borderline" was a great Madonna song.
Yeah. That was so popular when I was in college. That was right in the thick of when I was in college. Material Girl and all that stuff.
I like that Bonita.
We can talk about music, right? We just can't.
La Isla Bonita.
Yeah.
Spotify's waiting, though. They're waiting for us to cross that line, just ready to wreak havoc, to crush dreams.
They might say, this guy's still watching Andy Griffith bounce him.
I watched a little Blue Bloods the other day. I like Blue Bloods, and that just stopped being prime time. Didn't they just stop in 24? Wasn't that their last year? They were on for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever watched Blue Bloods?
No.
He would like Blue Bloods, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Without the commercials, you would. I've watched it on occasion. It's a good
I think he would like Blue Bloods more. Are you still watching Animal Kingdom?
Yes.
I think he
just
would like.
Finished year 2.
I watched it. I told you I made it through about most of year 1.
I don't know how the hell they're going to go 4 more seasons.
Well, they do.
Well, and it's just complete chaos, and it's.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
Well, I'm watching SVU because I never watched it before, and I'm watching it on Peacock, so there's no commercials.
I do think you would like Blue Bloods. I don't know what got me to start with, because I'm not a huge Tom Selleck fan, but there's so much more than Tom Selleck in that.
Well, now they have good
storylines.
The sequel is Boston Blue.
Red Bloods?
No, it's Boston Blue. And
what do you mean?
Boston Blue.
So it's
where the kid goes to work in Boston.
Which kid?
In the police force.
Jamie or
Wahlberg.
Oh,
Donnie or Mark?
Donnie.
He's a hothead on Blue Bloods. He's a hothead.
Well, he's going to be a hothead in Boston now.
So that's sort of a spin-off of Blue Bloods?
Yeah.
Because Blue Bloods is done, of course. Why did they decide? Is it just because Selleck's getting old?
Oh. No, it was cost.
Well, I'm sure Tom Selleck probably demanded
And Boston came up. The city of Boston said, we'll cover this much of the cost. Seriously.
Will you watch that?
I might.
The Wahlberg kid's good in Blue Bloods.
I like Donnie Wahlberg.
He's good in Blue. He plays kind of a, wouldn't you say his character, he's kind of a dick?
Yeah.
He's kind of an overbearing cop, but he plays that role pretty well.
He was so good in Band of Brothers. Jeez, he was just fabulous.
No, he's a good actor.
No, he is a good actor. Yeah, no, he is.
Yeah.
No, the acting in Blue Bloods is good. It is.
And they'll probably have, don't you think they'll have Selleck visit him on occasion?
When he's not doing reverse mortgages?
Jesus. Do you know something? That I investigated that.
Were you thinking of doing a reverse mortgage?
I don't know that I was thinking of doing one, but I wanted to know what it was.
To find out more about it. So explain.
I've heard really good and really bad.
It's first of all, it's expensive up front, and there's a lot of rules.
So do you have to own your house entirety, or do you just have to have equity built up?
Equity.
Okay.
But there's a lot of rules. There's a cost involved in it.
What do you mean a cost?
I mean, you have to go to the bank. The bank will charge you so much to estimate the value of the house and everything, and then
well, where does the money come from?
Well, if somebody else owns your house, they buy the house, basically.
So you're basically selling your house, but you're not really selling your house.
Yeah.
Yes, it always sounds too good to be true, but man, it's amazing how long he's been pushing. He's been doing that ad for over a decade, hasn't he?
Yeah. So basically, you're getting your equity, or some of your equity, but you're obviously paying the bank.
Well, like for me, I'll share, man. I owe a little over 100 and have probably close to 200 in equity. How would a reverse mortgage help someone like?
Here's the cons. Because your funds come from in the form of a loan against your equity, the balance accrues interest and grows over time. The loan has closing costs and fees. Because the loan draws from equity and accrues interest, it's likely to impact what your heirs inherit. And there's a chance your loan may not be enough to meet your needs.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand that at all.
Either.
That doesn't make sense.
It says even if your proceeds run out, you can still own your home and stay in it as long as you meet the loan requirements.
For me, my equity is more than what I owe, but I don't know if it would be enough to do. But I'm not interested.
So they keep calling it a loan.
Because a loan you have to pay back.
Yes.
Well, you pay it back with your house.
So you're basically, at the time you do a reverse mortgage, you're giving up ownership of your house.
Basically.
To who?
The way I understand it, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, and then I'll argue with you.
Or call in and ask a question about the Hawks so we can get off this topic. Are we back to the Hawks?
If you got some Hawks to discuss.
Well, I mean, I brought up the Darian Jones possible commitment, and that's about all I got right now. I mean, I haven't been on. Have you been on the message board lately? Any good rumors?
Briefly, I don't know if it would be considered a rumor, but there's a kid that's reclassifying to the class of 2025. Supposedly one of Ben McCollum's major recruits for 2026 really wants him. Is reclassifying to 2025. It was down to Purdue, Tennessee, and Iowa, and that he's going to come to Iowa. And by reclassifying,
what's his name?
I don't know. Can't remember.
So, but he hasn't committed yet.
Has not.
Okay. I'll be on.
But I can't. I should know the guy's name, but I can't.
Hopefully,
I can't remember.
He doesn't commit today. I don't want to do anything today.
It's either today or Monday. Is what the.
Jesus. He's gonna do it today.
Yeah, I'll look for it, and then of course we've already got Dallas's. But now, if Dallas's brother goes somewhere besides Iowa, I'm not gonna. Same with this kid. If he ends up going to Purdue or Tennessee, I'm not going to write. But if they both come here, that's...
I think Purdue is full for this year, which is the reason, or full, which is what he was going to go to Purdue, but they're full. So, I can't. It would help if I knew the guy's name, but I can't remember.
Hendrix was the Caden Clark of the guitar.
Was it Caitlin Clark? That's an interesting statement. I don't know.
I'd say he was more the...
Well, he was an innovator. There's no question.
He's an innovator.
I'd say he was more the Bill Russell of the guitar. Or Caitlin's so late. I mean, to me, you got to have somebody back in the earlier days that helped things.
That you can...
I mean, Bill Russell was one of the first ones that played defense. He was an innovator as far as how he played.
Well, they changed the goaltending rule because of him.
Yeah, and Jabbar, too. I mean, I think with Jabbar, you couldn't dunk while he was in college. But, hey, I mean, Hendrix was part of the reason he was often considered the greatest is because he came before some of these guitars, too, right?
Yeah, he was a great guitar. I'm not taking away anything from his guitar
But is he any better than Terry Kath?
Well,
Hendrix said no.
It's just different.
Hendrix said Terry Kath was the greatest guitarist he ever.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the gun was loaded.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Hendrix.
Oh, no.
I love Hendrix and everything.
Hey, you are totally entitled to your opinion.
It's like I like David Grohl of Foo Fighters, but not all of the stuff is... Some of the stuff is just noise to me. Just to me.
To the Foo Fighters, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it's noise.
I'm not a big Foo Fighters fan. There's been some of their songs that I like. I do like Dave Grohl for the most part.
Yeah. But I mean, I just don't, I don't care for a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I guess. I like, We Built This City. We Built This City to me is the Caitlin Clark of one-hit wonders. Jesus. I don't know that you can compare Caitlin Clark to Jimi Hendrix to, I don't go by those comparisons. She's a great player, and he was a great player, but there's a lot of great players.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just looking on some of these recruiting websites that just tweet. I don't see anything about the guy you're talking to anywhere high on some of these.
And I mean, it sounds like it's basically a done deal, but I can't. You're not seeing it at all?
No. I'm seeing this thing with Dallas's brother. I mean, it's way up high, and it's a story of some kid named Landon Davis.
Not him.
Yeah, but not. Let's see. Oh, Trey Thompson.
Yes, Trey Thompson.
Let me see. I'm just not seeing anything.
Yes, him.
I'm just not seeing anything recent within like the last few hours. Yeah, I've heard about him. Actually, I think we may have written about him a while back too.
Oh, I think you did.
Yeah, and I think Rob did.
But he's one of their big Ben's major recruits for 2026 who is going to be reclassifying.
Well, it'll help if Purdue is, let's see. There's something, Trey Thompson, Tennessee Impact. So that's somebody from Tennessee. Here it is. Trey Thompson, the number 60 overall prospect in the class, says he will take an official visit to Vanderbilt next Wednesday.
When's this?
This was from June 29th.
Okay.
So
this all happened since then.
Yeah, for some reason there's nothing. It's just weird. I'm just not seeing anything reporting on it. Here's something from it. Let's see. Here's an interview. No, that's from May.
Yeah, this happened within the last day or two.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything. Just for some reason, the people that do a ton of recruiting coverage aren't.
Well, it's the 4th of July.
Yeah, I just haven't seen anything recent within like the last day or two on him.
Probably all drunk.
No, these recruiting guys never stop. I mean, recruiting never stops.
No, it sure doesn't.
It just never stops. It never sleeps. So
these guys are sitting in their mom's basement.
No, they're not. Some actually, maybe. Some of these recruiting guys are pretty young.
Yeah, they are.
But no, they don't sleep. But yeah, it's just weird. I'm aware of this kid, and if he commits, he'll announce it.
If he commits, he commits.
But it's just weird. I'm just not seeing any. Here's something from most impressive underrated 26 recruits. He's on a list of that, and here's something. Oh, this is a different. The other thing is this is a different Trey. Trey Thompson's kind of a common name, I guess. There's a different
Trey Thompson.
Yeah, but most of these posts are from like April, May, when I call up his name. Let's see. Let me see something here. Students. Here's something.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm just not. Well, no, I'm actually looking up something. We're done. We're probably killing our listeners. I'm just not seeing anything that says anything is imminent. But,
I'll read it to you when.
Well, I'm sure it's out there. I just wanted to make sure nothing had broke in. There's nothing right now of any news of that type.
Okay.
So, and hopefully, maybe it won't happen today.
Maybe it won't.
But Darian is definitely announcing his decision today.
Well, let's hope it's Iowa, eh?
That's my prediction, but like I said, I'm not getting that at all from Dallas. I haven't been bugging Dallas at all about it because I want Darian to be able to announce it himself. And if he goes somewhere else,
then he goes somewhere else.
Good luck to him there. And what's going to be tough is if he goes somewhere else, it's more than likely going to be a Big Ten schools.
That's exactly.
You don't want to lose into a Big Ten school, so we'll see.
All right, well, happy 4th of July, everybody. Stay cool. Keep your dogs inside. Keep your kids inside. And happy birthday, America.
KCJJ Weather.